final road trip in our vintage RV. Today, Clementine is going international once again. We've taken her up to Canada, all over her home country of the US, and now we are headed down to Mexico, where she's gonna sip a cerveza on the beach. By that I mean we're gonna sip a cerveza on the beach.
Clementine can't drink and drive, come on. Will we break down immediately when we cross the border? Who knows? We might not even make it across the border because our RV gives off some very serious Breaking Bad vibes. They might just seize us right then and there, I don't know. Stay tuned, we'll see what happens. Welcome back, y'all. If you guys have been following along, you know that this trip seemed like it was pretty much doomed from the start when Clementine basically tried to die of heat stroke over in West Texas.
Yeah, and not one time, but 3 separate times she died, y'all. That night, we had given up, but we slept on it, and the next morning, we were like, maybe if we make some adjustments, we can keep going, and that is what we did.
So we just started driving Clementine earlier in the morning when the temperatures were below 100 degrees, and she's been doing fine. But you guys know what that means. Our plans are continuing and we are heading down to Mexico. But we have made it to Southern California, which is gonna be our jumping off point for Mexico. About 10 miles south of us is the Mexicali border crossing, and that is one of many ways that you can head down into Baja. But we like this way because the minute you get across the border, there's Highway 5. You take it all the way down for about 2.5 hours to San Felipe, which is going to be our first destination in Baja.
There were quite a few things we had to do to prepare for this trip to Mexico. So we've hunkered down here in the town of El Centro, which we mentioned is about 10 miles from the border. But I think it is kind of the perfect place to prepare for this trip because it has everything.
First off, they have the Desert Trails RV Park, which is just one of the nicest RV parks we've ever been to. You can see it's got this awesome tropical feel. It's got so many different spots, so there's tons of availability. But what's really awesome is that we are within a 5-mile radius of a Home Depot, AutoZone, Walmart, Best Buy, and a bunch of restaurants, so we can get everything we need to prepare for this trip. Also, this is just like a good intro to Mexico because most people here speak Spanish. We've got the basics down, like a más cerveza.
Yep, más tacos, dos café lattes, por favor. Donde está la biblioteca? I don't know why that is always the first phrase you learn. Who looks for a library anymore?
We have got to get prepared, and that sun, the minute it gets to about 10 or 11 o'clock, it gets about 100 degrees out here. Yeah, it is insane. We are also not early risers, so we gotta get out as soon as humanly possible.
Yes. There are a lot of supplies we want to take with us to Mexico to make sure we can get ourselves out of pretty much any jam. First things first, our old trusty toolkit.
And since it can be very dangerous to be stranded on the side of the road, we've got some little cones.
A heavy-duty bottle jack.
Baja is notorious for its potholes, so in case we blow a tire, that is gonna be very necessary. Gotta have a socket set, battery-powered drill.
A big old stack of leveling blocks.
With the rigs we drive, you gotta have extra coolant.
A ratchet strap in case stuff gets, well, ratchet.
Lay them like this.
Yeah.
Ow, god dang it. Oh, that bar crushed my fingernail.
Oh no.
God, I get hurt by everything. This shot hurt me.
A bunch of miscellaneous tools, so we don't look like a tool on the side of the road.
And you never know, maybe they'll have a disc golf course there. Why not? We almost forgot. We finally got ourselves a handy air compressor because we always freaking need it, although it's kind of big. But it gets the job done. All right, the Happy Success in Mexico starter kit. There you go. Can you see me? Is this all of it?
There's probably a few other bits and bobs in there, but that's the majority.
This is all we could remember. There can be stretches down in Baja where you won't see a gas station for hundreds and hundreds of miles, or they just might not be open. So it's always good to have some backup gas. This is our little 20-liter tank that we usually keep full. Right now it is empty because you are not allowed to cross the border, as far as we know, with any extra tanks of gas. You gotta fill them up past the border.
Alright, so we are finally in for the night. We are just kind of going over everything and making sure we have everything in order for crossing the border tomorrow. The first and probably most important thing is to make sure we have Mexican insurance. Your normal car insurance from the States will not cover you while you're down in Mexico, so you have to get a Mexican provider. We have one for Clementine and the tow vehicle for when it is being towed, but it does not cover Ruby if we disconnect her. So we have a second policy for Ruby for when we disconnect and drive around. Each policy was about $130, so about $260, but we're fully covered.
Obviously we can't drink the water down there, so we made sure to stock up on water ahead of time just to make sure we have it in case we're in a pinch, in case we don't have access to a store, we're not really sure what to expect. So we just figured it was a smart thing to do to stock up on that north of the border. There's another very important insurance policy that we're gonna need for this trip, and that's an insurance policy for us, the most valuable cargo in here, right? Let's face it, my camera's the most valuable cargo in here.
Yeah, probably all the data that we have on our hard drives, maybe.
Battery bank, much more important stuff than us. Obviously, our health insurance does not cover us down there, so we got ourselves a temporary travel policy just in case the worst happens down there. We want to be covered. We've been using a company called Safety Wing for a long time, and we actually have a little affiliate code for them. You can go to the link on the screen or in the description below and check them out. If you are traveling outside the US in any way, we definitely recommend them. We've been using them for years. It's not really sponsored or anything, but we are an affiliate of theirs.
We had to do a bit of a clean out of our fridge because I know there's a lot of things that you're not allowed to bring into Mexico, like fresh fruit and veggies and dairy products. We have coffee though, because we're very scared we won't be able to find good cold brew.
2 gigantic bottles.
We have a huge thing of almond milk. I'm not really sure if you're allowed to bring this or not. It's not dairy.
It's not real milk.
No, and the nuts are already juiced. They're not raw, so.
Okay.
But that means all of the fresh stuff we had in there will have to be our breakfast because you can't take these or this or those.
Well, you can take them. Just eat
In
here.
Ooh, I'm smuggling in eggs and milk and bananas.
And juiced almonds.
And juiced almonds.
And yes, you can bring in cold hard cash. Most people recommend to exchange this when you get over the border at an ATM, but we didn't know if we'd be able to access an ATM or even park Clementine. There is an immigration form that you have to get, but all the guides we read said that you're better off going across the border and then immediately getting it, assuming you don't miss the turn to go to the place, because apparently it's all unmarked. So maybe it'll be a bit of a fiasco tomorrow, but we're gonna figure it out one way or another. Are you ready? We're going to Mexico tomorrow. Clementine, the whole family's going to Mexico.
Finally going, y'all. There've been a lot of delays on the back end that we haven't talked to you about, so I'm ready. I want to be on a beach, dang it.
All right, your turn to do a transition. Do something. Use those bananas there. Oh yeah, use that money.
Ooh. We're filling up our fresh tank here because we have good water. We don't want to use the water from Mexico. And this way, we can use our tank to brush our teeth or boil water or something like that if we need to.
You've got this really nice sun flare behind your head right now.
Ooh.
Do a thing like you're an angel, like, oh.
All right, Baja, here we come.
We have made it to Calexico, which is the city on the north side of the border. Mexicali is south of that. And we just saw the first sign for the international border. So we're just gonna follow the signs and hope that we get in the right lanes and everything goes smoothly. There's no getting out now because they have put concrete dividers on either side.
We're in it. Here we go.
All right, we're heading through some initial checkpoint, which I guess is just the US side. There's a bunch of cameras and stuff, so I guess they just kind of capture all your info as you go over. All right, we are pulling up to the Mexico border right now. There's a big welcoming sign, so we know we're in the right place.
Looks like they're checking all of our documentation. They asked for our registration, but we have like our tags and I hope we have the right things.
Yeah.
Well, he's looking over, it looks like our insurance right now, so hopefully it's all good.
Something to declare?
No.
Okay, open the door please, inspection.
Okay.
All right, Allison hopped out. She is in the back with the guy right now. He's just gonna hop on board and I guess take a look at everything. Hopefully there are no red flags or anything. Is that it?
I guess that's it. He said thank you and gave me my paperwork back, so I'm hitting the road.
And so he came on and just walked around, looked through some stuff, shined a flashlight in a few areas, and then went on his way.
He just asked, do you have anything to declare? I said no, and then he goes, San Felipe? He knew already. Well, that was...
We still need to get the immigration form.
Oh.
Where's that at? Uh-oh. I forgot all about that. Is it down here? It must be down here
I go
somewhere.
in there.
Well, we could not find the immigration place to get the form that we read about online, so we have no idea what to do about that, and took a wrong turn right off the bat. So now we're just like trying to correct our path in Mexicali.
My signal's not working, but that's okay, we're fine. I can see on the map. This should take us over there. It's gonna be all good.
Yeah, of course, we're driving down like these little Mexican side streets now, but if that truck can make it,
Yeah.
we can make it, right? All right, it looks like our cell phones have found signal, and this is the turn to get back on the main Highway 5, which we're gonna take all the way down to San Felipe, so we're good. We weren't sure if Clementine and Ruby would blend in a lot here or if they would stick out like a sore thumb, but Allison said that she's noticed a lot of people staring, so.
I've just seen a lot of pedestrians watching us as we drive by. Maybe it's just because we're such a cool rig, they like it.
But we are definitely sweating not having got that form FMM. You were definitely supposed to get this basically to be legal in this country when you pass the border. But we came up with a plan B. We did some Googling and we found that there's an immigration office down in San Felipe. So maybe we can go in there and get the form issued. I sent them a message and I'm just waiting to hear back, but you'll have to stay tuned to see what happens with all that. So far, this has been a pretty smooth trip. Basically, you cross the border, you do like 10, 15 miles or so and get through the downtown Mexicali, and luckily you can take Highway 5 all the way through there. So there are no turns, basically just a bunch of stoplights. And then before you know it, you're just out in this beautiful countryside. There's a huge mountain range off to the right. The landscape has changed so much. Like, it was tropical with all these palm trees, then it turned into farmland, then desert land, and then it ended up being just like salt fields as far as the eye can see. And surprisingly, the drivers here have been very polite. Like, if you have to slow down and someone has to fly past you, they've been flashing and kind of honking just to let us know they're going by and stuff.
Other than the speed limit being in kilometers and everything being listed in pesos, for a second I was like, how much is gas down here?
We're going to be heading to the La Palapa RV park in San Felipe, and they said they don't take reservations in advance. You just got to show up, and luckily it's a Monday. It's a weekday. I think that's why the border crossing was so easy. No one else was even in line. We really want to get a spot right on the water, so fingers crossed that happens. We're at a security checkpoint right now, and we cannot figure out which lane to go into. Did he wave you through?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
They have guns, so if they want us to come back, they'll let us know.
Yeah, so apparently all throughout Baja, you're going to find these military checkpoints, and they're basically, I think, just checking for drugs and stuff like that. It's a bit intimidating because the guys have very big guns, but they just waved us right through. They didn't really care, so.
I feel like they were more concerned about people headed north than south.
Yeah,
so.
all right. Oh man, maybe we should have gotten our insurance with Fat Ass. What do you think?
Instead we went with Chubbs.
Yeah, that is our insurance provider. They're called Chubb.
Chubb.
With 2 B's.
But we have officially made it to San Felipe, y'all. We are 8 minutes from our campsite. Hopefully they have a beautiful spot for us.
We have arrived to the RV park. We got all paid up. I'm just showing Allison to our spot. Actually, he said we could just pick the spot, so we should be able to get one of these beachfront ones right here. What do you think?
I think it'll do, probably. I think the view could be better, maybe.
Oh yeah? All right, we are thinking this is gonna be our spot. No one else is here, so we've got the pick of all of them. We're just trying to get all hooked up and check out the electrical box. That's what you wanna see. As long as they have a 30 amp outlet, we're good. And we got a little surge protector too,
Yep.
so there you go.
That is why you have one of these, although it needs to go upside down.
Oh yeah, you gotta put it upside down. Whoops, that makes it awkward. Well, it's not gonna close properly. Okay, all right, that works.
Does it work?
Yeah. All right, we see green or blue, and believe it or not, that means correct wiring. So this may look like a mess, but it is correct.
It's official. We're Mexican RVers. We're all set up, hooked up, AC's going, we got our spot. We couldn't have asked for a better place. This RV park sits about half a mile from the town. You get essentially a private beach right in front of you.
Yeah.
It just looks like something out of a postcard.
Especially with these little blue veranda things. They're very rickety, so be careful on them, for sure.
I think these are the palapas. Las
Oh yeah,
palapas.
is that what palapas means?
I think it's a little wooden stand.
Oh, okay.
I think.
There you go.
gosh, you guys. We were just in for the night, and I swear to God, we keep hearing gunshots off in the distance. The sun has set. It's like pretty dark, and we're the only ones at this freaking campsite. Oh my God, did you hear it? Oh no, it's happening!
Sounds like a cannon.
Okay, we figured it out. People are setting off fireworks, but it still sounds like freaking gunshots. My God!
There's just one group of people on the beach over there setting a bunch off. Well, I got some bad news, you guys. We spoke to an immigration person here in San Felipe. They cannot issue that tourist form FMM that we need in order to be legal in this country. So guess what that means? We're going back to the border, y'all.
We're about to take a 2.5 hour drive. What, each way? 5 hours round trip.
From what we read, the odds of anyone checking for this form is very, very slim, but we really just feel like if we don't get it, we will be checked. And if we do get it, we won't be checked. That's the way it works for us. So the real clincher though was that we found out that they could deny any insurance claims if they find out we didn't have that form, because technically they'll use any excuse they can to deny us if we get in a wreck or something down here. That was the real reason why I'm like, you know what, I'm not taking that chance for sure. So we're going back up to the border. We're not sure how this is going to work though, because you can't exactly drive up and park at a parking lot or anything. You have to park somewhere and then kind of like try to walk over to the border crossing area. I don't even know if that's legal or allowed. So if that doesn't work, we're gonna have to leave the country and then come back in.
It's just
like
all
idiots.
stupid. Just don't do what we did. Just stop at the border and ask everyone, where can I get this form?
Yeah, we feel pretty stupid that we misunderstood how that form works, but we won't be making that mistake again, and we're gonna rectify it today.
Yeah.
One way or another. All right, well, hop on in. We got a long way to go. I'm already sweating.
I know I don't want to, y'all. It's like 8 a.m., but
We're just gonna do it though. Let's go.
Okay.
Well, just as quickly as we left Mexicali, we're back. It was a nice chill drive, a little hot, not gonna lie.
So a nice hot drive.
Nice. Yeah, did I say chill?
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't make any sense. We are just minutes away from the border checkpoint. We're gonna see if we can get to it from this side, but if not, we're gonna have to leave Mexico and come back like idiots, and then make sure we stop and get the proper immigration form.
Use the left 3 lanes to turn slightly left onto Boulevard Adolfo Lopez Mateos, Calzada Gustavo Valdesola Castro.
That's a mouthful. Where do we turn again? All right, so this is just a little side street here, and it seems like the only possible way for us to get back into the immigration without going all the way around is through that little gate right there. Well, we're gonna leave the camera and report back, so wish us luck. Well, y'all, we're officially legal.
Man, that was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And
probably something we did not need to do, but
No.
just our luck, we would be the ones who get busted, so we did it. Hopefully this is a cautionary tale for if you're ever driving to Baja, immediately stop and go get the immigration form, because it is not worth all this hassle. Did you notice how absolutely nobody else was going in to get that immigration form?
not a single person stopped. I mean, these forms are good for 6 months. Maybe they're all just still valid.
If you pop down and you stay close to the border, you don't even really need the form, like nobody ever gets it. But if you go further south, from what we understand, you need it.
Yeah, and I believe if you're only in the country for 7 days, you don't even have to pay for this. But if you don't, then it's what, 700 pesos a person, something like that. And just like that, we're legal.
And it feels so good.
Feels so good. It is very nice to be back on the beach. We got our pepperonis waiting for us. Look at these good boys.
These guys come running every time we pull up.
Yeah. Hey, you're so happy. You're the best beach dog. But we are so freaking relieved that we have that sorted. It's behind us now, and we've actually been planning a bunch of stuff. We don't have the most time down here, but we're gonna squeeze in a lot. I think we're gonna see a lot of these kind of views and a lot of surprising views, because these mountains, this dog is just so licky. We're gonna go get into the mountains, and it's gonna be beautiful. Well, I guess it's shower time now, so goodbye, adventurers.
We'll see you on the road.